Let's have a look now at the annotation tools available to us in AutoCAD 2010. I've got a very basic drawing here. I've got some multi-line text just here. I've got a standard linear dimension there and a multi-leader over here. And what we're going to do is look at ways and means of editing these objects using the new tools available to us in AutoCAD 2010. Now what we need to do, we need to go to our Annotate tab here on the ribbon at the top of the screen. And what we have there now, we have a text panel, a dimensions panel, a leaders panel. We also have tables, markups and annotation scaling. Tables, markup and annotation are covered in the basic 2D concepts course. So let's have a look now at what we're going to do here. As you can see, we're looking at the text panel first here. Let's start from the left. And we've got a bit of multi-line text here, and what we've got the word shown. So it says this drawing is being shown to demonstrate the new annotation tools in AutoCAD 2010. How's about we want to find all incidences of the word shown and replace them with the word used? Let's do that. Let's have a look at that. We go up to Find Text here, type in the word shown, make sure it's spelt correctly, otherwise it will find wrong incidences of the misspelling of the word shown. And all I do is I click on this little magnifying glass here. It'll automatically go to the text, highlight it and highlight the word shown. And it's found that in the current space layout here. I can actually go to objects in the drawing though, so I might only want to go to a particular area of text. So I go to Selected Objects, I click on this little Select Objects button here, and I can go and select where I want to find the word shown. So if I click here and press Enter, it finds it in that particular piece of text. So as you can see now, there's the word shown. I want to replace it with the word used, like so, and all I do now is I hit the word find. So it's finding anything in this area of multi-line text only. So I hit find, and you'll see that it looks exactly the same, but it's narrowed the search down to that one particular multi-line text object. So I hit the word replace here, the little button here. It replaces that and tells me one match found, one object changed. I click on OK, I click on Done, and as you can see now I have the word used there instead. Now, what you'll find as well with multi-line text especially is if you've got a big piece of multi-line text, older versions of AutoCAD used to tie you down to a piece of text that was in size 32K. AutoCAD 2010 allows you now to have multi-line text objects that are up to 256K in size. So you've got a lot more text, especially in notes columns and descriptions on drawings. When it comes to multi-line text as well, you've got a dynamic column mode as well, which is new in AutoCAD 2010. Now, let's have a look now at the spell check tools available. You can see there that annotation has been deliberately spelt wrong to test the spell check. Let's just go in there and double click. Let's add a few more T's in there for good measure, like so, and then close the text editor. What I'm going to do here now is check the spelling in that particular piece of multi-line text. So let's just click on the check spelling here in the text panel. It asks you where you want to check. Do you want to check in the entire drawing? Not really. I only want to check that piece of multi-line text. So again, I've got the pull down option to select objects. So I click here on the Select Objects button, click on this piece of multi-line text, press Enter to confirm. It's now on Selected Objects. I have to hit the Start button though to start the spell check. And as you can see, the first thing it finds, not in the dictionary, is annotation. And as you can see there, it's blatantly obvious that it's spelt incorrectly. I can actually type in here though. I can actually type in what I want to replace it with. Like so. That's how annotation is spelt. It's not actually in the American English Dictionary that I'm using here. Okay, so I have to suggest it here. I can add it to the dictionary if I wish as well. In this case though, I'm just going to change it. It changes it, spell check complete. Thank you very much, because everything else in that piece of multi-line text was obviously spelt correctly. I click on close, and you can see now that annotation is spelt correctly. Now, talking about multi-line text, your multi-leaders now are very, very much easier to edit. Let's zoom in a tad there. There we are. I can double click on the text on a multi-leader now and edit it using the text editor. It's just multi-line text now. So it's nice and easy. I delete that, put a 4 in there maybe, and I click on close, close the text editor. It's that easy now. Now the dimension edits and the dimension style edits with the annotation are very, very slick as well. Let's have a look now at our dimension here. I'm just going to double click on it. By double clicking on it, I bring up the properties palette. So I'm just going to pan a little bit so that we can actually still see our dimension there. One of the things I really like about AutoCAD 2010 is you can now place the dimension text below the dimension line. It's a new feature. So scroll down in the properties palette here, and we've got text position vertical. It's above at the moment. If I click on the down arrow here now, I can place it below the dimension line. So you see when I set below there, it goes below the dimension line. Very useful if you've got busy dimensions or a busy drawing. Now the other thing that's new as well is view direction. This is a little bit further down. Text view direction. It's left to right at the moment. I might want to change that from right to left. Watch what happens. It flips the text, and if I just deselect that a moment, you'll see that the text is actually upside down and the other way around. Very useful again if you've got sections and elevations where you want the dimension to be consistent with that section or elevation. Let's just click on the dimension again like so. Now also in the properties palette, if I scroll down back to the text here, something else as well, it's on the units, primary units. Notice the dim scale linear is 1 and the subunit scale is 100. Let's say for example that was a meter long. It would display 1 meter. But if I went less than 1 meter, the subunits could display it as either centimeters or millimeters. In this case, the main unit is 1 meter, so the subunits, for example, could be centimeters there. 100 centimeters make 1 meter. So what it does is it allows you to work with the trailing zeros and things there, and allows you to display your units more effectively on the drawing. So as you can see, there's a lot of new features there with annotation in AutoCAD 2010 that are going to make your life a lot easier and save you having to rework dimensions, multi-line text and multi-leaders.